Hello boys and girls, welcome back to another English language lesson for grade 7. And today we want to look at argumentative writing. I'm Sir Jared. I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Now, what is an argument? Do you like arguing? I know I love to argue, so this is one of my favorite topics. Now, an argument involves the process of establishing a claim and then proving it with the use of logical reasoning, examples, and research. I want to go that again. An argument involves the process of establishing a claim and then proving it with the use of logical reasoning, examples, and research. So it's not only about making a claim, but we have to prove those claims with logical reasoning, examples, and research. Now, what is logical reasoning? Drawing conclusions based on a given set of facts. So that is what logical reasoning is about. Drawing conclusions based on a given set of facts. Now, for example, Mary and Dave are currently married to each other and have a marriage license. Therefore, Mary must be Dave's wife. That's all right. It's logical because if they have a marriage license, Mary must be Dave's wife. Now, let's look at building a convincing argument. Because your argument should be convincing. The person should believe what you are writing. They should possibly even agree with what you're writing, providing that your argument is convincing enough. Now, research the topic. I want to say it again. Research the topic. Become an expert on both the pros and the cons of the argument. This demonstrates your credibility as a writer, that you have researched multiple sides of the argument and have come to an informed decision. Now, the thing about when you're doing these arguments that are very much logical, you can't just approach it from opinions. No, we must have facts. Everything should be logical. All right? So not just, oh, I feel this way and I'm going to write about it, and everything you're saying is just coming from your opinions. It shows you have considered other points of view, that other points of view are valid and reasonable, but not necessarily the best way to address the issue. I want to say that again. It shows you have considered other points of view, that other points of view are what? Valid and reasonable, but not necessarily the best way to address the issue. So it's very good to look on both sides, the pros and the cons. Now, consider your audience when you offer a counter argument. So, whenever you are going to, let's say I believe that our environment, we should all become vegans. Now, some persons might say, no. I don't think that's a good way to go. Why should we not eat meat? The animals are there. That's why we should use them. Now, counter-argument is where I'm now going to take a point from the opponent side and I'm going to argue that point, argue against that specific point. So that's just an example of how you can counter-argue. Now, when you're doing that, your audience is very important. Who am I arguing to? So, think about your age group. Are you writing this argument to your colleagues? Are you trying to convince an adult? So your audience is very much important. Now, conceding to some of your opposition's concerns can demonstrate respect for their opinions. Conceding to some of your opposition's concerns can demonstrate respect for their opinions. Now, remain tactful yet firm. Using rude or depreciating language can cause your audience to reject your position without carefully considering your claims. So what is this saying to us? In our argument, we should not be disrespectful. We should not come across aggressive and haughty. Stay away from that, because when persons sense that in your argument, they no longer want to listen to your perspective. Organize your argument and research. I'm putting that again. Organize. Now, your argument should be logically arranged and it should be well researched. Now, why is organization important in an argument? You're probably asking yourself, why is it important? Now, it guides an audience through your reasoning process. It offers clear explanation of each argued point. And I want to say that again. It offers a clear explanation. So the person's reading or the person reading your argument should not be like, what is happening? I don't understand. It's very confusing. It should be very clear. Demonstrates the credibility. Persons should trust your work. Your work should be original. It should be authentic. The organization. Now, what do we have? We have the intro and hook, thesis statement. You have your body, which would conclude your topic sentence, says your main points, your argument and research, and your conclusion. Now, when you're writing an argumentative piece, what you will find is that you have multiple paragraphs. And you want each paragraph to be well organized. You want all your ideas to be clearly stated from your introductory paragraph to your concluding paragraph. All right, boys and girls? Now let's look at persuasion versus argumentation, because there are differences. Now, persuasion, the action or act of persuading someone or of being persuaded to do or believe something. Argumentation, the process of establishing a claim and then proving it with the use of logical reasoning, examples, and research. And I note that you see I underlined the word research there for you. The process of establishing a claim and then proving it with the use of logical reasoning, examples, and research. Now let's look at the difference between persuasive and argumentative essay. Now, a persuasive essay may make a claim based on opinion, may not take opposing ideas into account, persuades by appealing to the audience's emotion or by relying on the character or credentials of the writer. Emotion-based. Now, let's look at the argumentative side of this. An argumentative essay makes claims based on factual evidence, research. And I want you to note how this word research is being repeated throughout this lesson, because when it comes to writing argument, research plays a great role. Makes counterclaims. The author takes opposing views into account. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier about counter-argument, where you take your opponent's views into consideration and you can argue against it to fully establish your point. Neutralizes or defeats serious opposing ideas. Convinces audience through the merit and rationality of the claim and proofs offered. So it's homework time. Write one argumentative paragraph on one of the following topics. What can be done to assist teenagers in maintaining a healthy weight? Violent video games should be prohibited. Is technology limiting creativity? So what I want you to do, boys and girls, I want you to, since this is your first attempt at writing an argumentative piece, I want you to just write this argument in one paragraph. And when we did paragraph writing, what do we talk about? A paragraph has a topic sentence, supporting details, and a concluding sentence. So I want your topic sentence. This should state your position on the topic. Are you for it or are you against it? Your supporting detail, this is where you have your research information, fully establishing your point, and your concluding sentence. So I want you to try this one argumentative paragraph as practice. Now I want to thank you all for participating in class today. I hope that you learned a lot, and remember, when it comes to argumentative writing, research, research, research. Until we meet again, I'm Sir Jared, and I'm out.